Warning, this video may contain adult language not suitable for some children. Hey guys, welcome to Through the Table Podcast, a podcast devoted to nothing but wrestling in every sense of the word. And today my co-host with me again is Tommy, NC2010.
World Heavyweight MTV's made Comedy Central's champion of the world. And I'm here delivering the positivity and
Okay. Oh, we got a little bit of touch of gold dust tonight, huh?
Stardust.
Oh, Stardust. Well, now he's not Stardust anymore. He's Cody Rhodes again.
No, he technically is not Cody Rhodes.
Well, he's Cody. He can't. Well, I think they're going to let him do his name if they do the rebranding. Who knows? But thank you guys for joining us today. Today we're going to be covering Raw's October 17th showing. Pretty good Raw. Wasn't crazy about it. I mean, the end of the night, it was amazing. The pop that the special guest, everybody knows, Goldberg showed up. We're only going to touch on Goldberg tonight. We are going to do a different video that's going to go into this in-depth, our theory crafting on what they're going to do with this, how they're going to do it, when this big collision between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg's going to take down. We will do that in a separate video going into more detail. We may even have a special guest talking about it as well. Who knows? But,
special guest?
Yeah, we might have a special guest.
Really?
Yeah, I have a few friends that would like to touch in on this specific topic.
Really?
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the start of the night. We had Seth Rollins calling Jericho Sparkle Crotch.
Oh, how brilliant. Basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to make Seth Rollins look like a face. Honestly, he does not play face well. He plays heel well. And honestly, I don't like Seth Rollins. He's annoying.
Really? I'm liking what they're doing. I don't like the trying to make him into a super baby face like they do John Cena. I like him kind of in that Randy Orton gray area kind of face, heel, don't know which side he's really on. Yeah. He plays that very well. Having him talk too much may cripple his everybody's cheering for him right now, but having him talk too much might hurt him in the long run.
Yeah.
I'd like him to stay kind of that in-betweener. But other than that, I thought it was funny. And Jericho always plays off everything really well.
Honestly, in my opinion, WWE audience are like a bunch of... I'm not trying to be mean here, but they're just a bunch of repeating birds. They hear something and they just start jowling it off, and I'm like, come on, are you kidding me?
Well, it's
Sparkle Crotch, and I'm like,
it's a group mentality kind of thing, but yeah.
I wonder what Vince McMahon does when they say, holy shit, and Vince McMahon is like, no, don't say that, it's a PG show. No, Vince.
Well, PG is a legal word now. I mean, it's okay to say now because
holy shit.
Yeah, shit is not a bad word anymore. It's not considered a bad word.
This is awesome.
That's kind of meh, but I mean,
yeah,
it's PG area. What do you do? But moving on, we have the tag team match between Perkins and I believe his name was Curtis Alexander.
I think.
Yeah, Curtis Alexander and Kendrick and. I'm gonna mispronounce this guy's name, Mansi or something like that. He's a lower end cruiserweight guy, not really super popular.
Something I want to say about the cruiserweight division that they have opened it up and they have new guys. It's good. I like that WWE is opening up their levels and putting new people in, and not just giving us old cruiserweights from a long time ago.
Except for Kendrick, because Kendrick was an old timer.
He is?
Yeah, he's an old one. Him and Paul London used to be tag team partners back in the day.
If you want to know why I don't know that information, folks, because I came in mid-2000s, became a wrestling fan. My friend got me involved with wrestling, and I really didn't even know who John Cena was. She said,
oh goodness!
She said, "Do you know who John Cena?" I'm like, "Who's John Cena?" And she's like, "What? Don't you know what WWE is?" I'm like, "No, what's
the John Cena show?" Basically, that's all it was back in those days. But Perkins is also a former wrestler too. Do you remember? Well, he wasn't on WWE. He was on TNA. Do you remember Suicide? The guy who wore the skull mask and had the red stretchy tights.
I kind of watched a little bit of TNA, but I really didn't get in because it was too dark.
This was back way back. He played Suicide, the masked X Division wrestler.
Really?
That literally appeared overnight. He came from when TNA finally made their first video game.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the video game, and then they said, "Oh well, everybody seems to like him in the video game. Let's bring him to real life." And then for a bunch of people have played Suicide. Austin Aries has been Suicide.
Yeah.
T.J. Perkins has been Suicide. DJZ was Perkins for a little while. A lot of people have played Suicide, but the most memorable in my mind... what is his name? Manic. Manic was also Suicide at one point. But TJ was the best Suicide because he just had more athleticism than the rest of them.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that, any person that has played a character so many times as his own I would have to give that to, what is his name? Mick Foley.
Yeah, Mick Foley's plethora of,
characters. And I had to give it to him. He is a very good performer. He was a big guy, but he pushed himself, and I have to say that many wrestlers, comparing to Mick Foley, are their own deliverance in their own way. And I have to say that these wrestlers that push themselves and build their characters will get far. But the fact is, it
grows stale after a while.
It does, but here's the fact: Vince McMahon buries a lot of these wrestlers, and I think it's really. He didn't bury John Cena when he first brought him out. His little golden boy, his little eggplant that he fixed up. He doesn't bury him, but every single freaking wrestler he brings out, he buries them.
Well, the reason they don't bury John, one thing is they can't really, because he was the face for so long, and he was part of all the different, the different charity events and the salute to the troops and whatnot. You can't really bury a person like that because
big whoop.
They have to have a face for all that. And in today's thing, it's really hard to find. Which, don't get me wrong, a lot of these guys may act like jerk-offs on the show, but I've watched a lot of other behind-the-scenes stuff, and there's a lot of characters that you think are just going to be horrible people are actually really cool people.
Hey, Chris.
No, let's not go there. But, Rusev. Rusev plays a horrible character in the show.
Rusev Crush!
But he's actually a really chill, cool dude behind stage.
Interesting question, interesting fact. First he was Russian, then he was Bulgarian, then he was, what is he now?
He's still Bulgarian.
He was Russian. Vladimir Putin does not like America. And then he becomes...
Well, Bulgaria is kind of linked with Russia. It's not exactly the same thing, but I think it's considered a province of Russia. But anyway, back to the CWC, the Cruiserweight division. We had Kendrick versus Kendrick and Amintz, however you say his name, versus Perkins and Alexander. And Kendrick, I like him. I really want to like him because of the old days.
Yeah.
But they got him playing a heel, and it's kind of I don't know what it is. He's good at playing a heel. It's just a very weird heel. And Perkins is like the ultimate good boy. And I really like Perkins because he's very athletic. He reminds me of an older RVD, or I'm sorry, a younger RVD. He entertains. And they love to put him as a basic.
Whatever happened to Rob Van Dam? Why did they?
He is on the independent circuit right now because of certain illegal things that he got busted for.
Marijuana?
Yeah, in Japan and a couple other places. And I know him and Sandman got busted together one time or another. That was a long time ago. But besides that, right now he's working in Japan, I believe, right now.
Well, those high-flyer wrestlers need that edge, I have to say, one thing about, I think is interesting about the wrestling culture is I've noticed there's a lot of drug use inside of the wrestling culture, and I really think that I've looked into entertainment value. Why is it that in any profession, comedy, and people get involved with drugs? Folks, drugs are bad for you. This is a message from us, from Through the Table podcast, that we support this message, that drugs are bad. And now marijuana, I always joke around because I watch Trailer Park Boys, but the thing about it is, serious drugs, crack cocaine, heroin,
meth, all that kind of stuff.
A lot of it is really toxic, and I say to you kids and everybody out there, do not do drugs. Drugs are bad for your brain. They'll ruin your life. And the fact is that, look at some of these wrestlers that have used drugs. Where are they? They're dead. Or either they've gone through insane lost bone mass, or just a lot of the wrestlers that did use a lot of drugs, they're not here today anymore.
Yeah, a lot of them are just either out of the sports because they can't do anything else, or they're dead. But I mean, it's sad to see, but it happens. I mean, these guys are getting their. A lot of people like to argue that wrestling is not a sport. The thing is, wrestling, the gimmicks are fake, the action is choreographed, but the injuries are real.
Yes.
Very, very, very real.
So
I mean, they had, what was it, Scum or Puke, whatever his name. He got put into one bad position during a match, and he's paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Really?
He's stuck in a chair. He can't go anywhere. I mean, he's got his chair. It's mobile and stuff, but he was a prominent wrestler, and now he's a paraplegic for the rest of his life. There's nothing they could do for him. And it may be fake gimmicks, maybe fake action, maybe scripted, but when those guys fall and get hurt, they really get hurt. And try not to try this stuff at home unless you are trained on how to do this, like I was. I used to be an amateur professional, well, not amateur professional, amateur circuit wrestler down towards the lower part of the state. It is very dangerous if you don't know, if you and the person you are wrestling with don't know what you're doing and you're not jiving with each other. You could possibly be lifelong scarred or worse. Because, I mean, as we saw with, Puke for one reason, and then all the other wrestlers who... Ellsworth, he could have seriously hurt himself when AJ delivered the Styles Clash to him, because everybody knows since Yoshitatsu was put into a halo for 2 years when AJ delivered the Styles Clash, lean your head back. Always lean your head back. He leaned his head forward, it jerked his spine up. And he was in a halo for 2 years. Ellsworth almost did the same thing, but AJ had the professionalism to know at the last moment what Ellsworth had done. He tucked his knees, so all that impact went on AJ's knees instead of at Ellsworth's head and neck. And you don't try that stuff at home unless you were trained and you were being supervised by people who can possibly help you if something goes wrong.
Yes.
But anyway, cruiserweights, it was really good. A good match. The cruiserweights always put on a good show. They always put on a good show. Kendrick and Amansi, or how you say his name, end up going over in a submission with the Kendrick's captain's hook. Perkins was held by his leg on the opposite side of the mat by the other guy and allowed Kendrick to get the submission. And that was pretty much in the match. I want to see this Perkins Kendrick thing go on.
Is that the guy who goes like this?
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz. He comes out to that weird black flag with the skeleton and the heart. He's trying to play off a weird angle, and I don't know how I feel about it. But his action's pretty good. He's not as athletic as he used to be.
Dum bum bum dum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a badass.
That's just, I don't know about how I feel about the gimmick with him, but who knows? Time will tell. Anyway, moving on to the next part of the show, we had the Rusev skit. Mama and Papa Rusev. Cousin Rusev and all these other...
Don't fucking make fun of my mama! Don't make fun of my mama!
See, here's the thing about Rusev. I really like Rusev, not just because of he's good at playing a heel, but behind the scenes, I've seen him on Austin Creed's channel and all the other guys. Rusev's actually a really genuinely nice guy. He seems to be really cool to hang around with, and he does have that thick accent that he shoots out on the show. I mean, he really has that accent, and he just seems like a cool dude to be hanging out with. But this skit was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. All these random pictures of family. Did you see Rusev's dad with that massive mustache? I was just like, God.
I thought it was just a general's picture of his father.
No, apparently his dad was really in the military, and apparently that was his real dad. I mean, didn't you see the picture where they're all together now?
No.
But there's a picture where they're all together in one picture, and sure enough, it's all of them. That's really what his family looks like.
Really?
Yeah, and he still has that dog, too.
Oh, God, wow.
But besides that, I thought it was a funny skit. It was really well played off. Rusev's just good at acting. I'd like to see him in a comedy movie, kind of like how they did Big Show and Knucklehead. I'd love to see Rusev have his own comedy-based movie, because I think he could play a good comedian.
Oh, 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. Retire. I have 4 more years on my contract. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Paul White's just amazing.
Oh yes, he's the one thing about it is I have to say I'm amazed with Paul White is when he first came in the WWE said, okay, you're a big guy. Here's what we're gonna do. They're like, what? We're gonna stick you underneath the stage, the ring. You're gonna pop out and grab Triple H by like. Where are you going to put me what and where?
Yeah, how are you going to get this big man underneath there safely without getting hurt?
Oh, God.
And then there was the whole skit where Boss Man and his supposed deceased father, they tried to build the Giant as being the son of Andre the Giant, which he wasn't, but, I mean, they were trying to build that. And it was kind of weird, but it kind of worked. Paul White has had an astonishing career. For a man his size, he has accomplished a lot of what nobody thought a man his size
You know,
could.
he had the same syndrome as Andre the Giant, you know that? But something interesting, I watched the whole documentary on Paul White's his life before he became WWE. He had a surgery, and he majorly shrunk. When he had
It stunted the disease, basically.
It stunted the disease. I think if Andre had that surgery, if that surgery had been available
back
for
in those
Andre,
days.
I think we could have had Andre here for a good while.
Oh yeah, for a good while, and then he would have been inducted to the Hall of Fame while he was alive.
Yeah, that was a sad day. You know, such an amazing athlete as Andre the Giant. I'm sorry that we get off topic a lot, folks. It's just there's a lot about wrestling that is very classic and very deep. And it's very interesting to open up about a lot about these subjects and wrestlers that one promo I think was one of the most amazing promos, and it can make you cry if you listen to it. Ultimate Warrior's promo.
Oh yeah.
His last promo. He says you breathe your last breath. Your blood flows through your veins. Ultimate Warrior. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Warrior was really good. There's a lot. If you ever get a chance to just want to watch a wrestling documentary, I honestly would highly recommend it, because all the documentaries they have on the network right now, there's just so much to them that you don't realize goes on in these guys' lives, and it actually gives you like a tidbit of what their life is on the road and what happens after you step out of the ring for the last time. But anyways, Rusev's skit went over real well. Thought it was real funny. Okay, on to this made me so upset. The Bullet Club versus Enzo and Cass. They're just trying to bury the Bullet Club. I hate what they're doing. They're going to hold that stupid tag team title to the New Day until, of course, they beat Demolition's record. I really don't like what they're doing with the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club in Japan and all over the world have been a dominant force. They've absolutely steamrolled through everybody they've ever faced.
Really?
And come to the WWE, they're basically just getting beat every week. Every single week.
It's Vince McMahon. He basically, you could be okay. Here's the thing with WWE, you could be really good. You could be dominant, and every other company, you come over to Vince's company, and Vince says, "Well, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna be losers, but we're dominant. We're gonna pay you a lot of money for you to lose."
They're gonna break you down, then build you back up. They want to basically kind of erase what you earned in other places. And I really don't like what they're doing with the Bullet Club. And anyway, like, they're completely building up these guys as, like, they're trying to break them down and make them lose all their credibility from what they had in Japan and basically feeding them, which Enzo and Cass, I don't think are going to be tag team title champs. They're kind of I think it's going to be Enzo's going to get jealous and turn on Cass, or vice versa, because they're going to put Cass in the main spotlight.
Soft. Don't be soft.
I don't like what they're doing to the Bullet Club. Hopefully they'll make a turnaround. They need a leader. Alexander and Gallows need a voice. They're not bad on the mic, but they're not good on the mic either.
Yeah.
They need someone like they had AJ, or they had Prince Devitt, who was Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Back when they were in Japan, so they had a good person who's good on the mic. They're not so good on the mic. They just need someone to be their forefront.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Wyatt family. You had Rowan, Harper, and then you had Bray. Bray was a good talker. The other two not so much. But that's what I think needs to happen to the Bullet Club. Put someone with the Bullet Club, make them into a triple tag team. Heck, make the New Day drop the belt in a triple or a three-man tag match to the Bullet Club, and then you could still have the three-man tag thing going on with the New Day, and then you can just kind of split off the Bullet Club as here's your two tag team guys and here's your main guy. But I mean that's going to take them finding someone who can fit the shoes that they need, which I think when he gets better, Finn Balor to return to the Bullet Club. I really hope so. And, I mean, he's already been the leader of them once. I seriously think he could do it again. And I think that would completely build the Bullet Club back up to where they used to be.
Yeah.
But onward from that, we had Sheamus versus Big E and the YouTube Live or Facebook Live shenanigans of Cesaro.
Oh, my gosh. I watched that live. It was funny. Cesaro's just running his mouth. He's talking bad about Sheamus. He's talking good about New Day. New Day sure likes to talk a lot.
I like them. I like this combo of Sheamus and Cesaro. They may lose every time, but I like the synergy. It's just this weird, macho, funny thing they've got, and it just works. No matter whether they're winning or losing, they're entertaining to watch together. And I just like the whole thing where they had to ride together from venue to venue was hilarious. Because they're just so different. But yet there's so much the same at the same time. But in the end, Big E winning over Sheamus by rolling him up, small package win, thanks to Cesaro filming and getting Sheamus distracted. Funny match, was pretty good. Silly ending,
One of the funniest things I thought was interesting was right at the beginning when Sheamus is such a tall guy, Cesaro is behind him and he's like this, just smiling, and he pops out and he's like, "What are you doing, Cesaro? This is my entrance!"
Yeah. It's a weird combo, but it works, and I like it. Good match. Silly ending. It was okay. All right, on to Bayley and Dana Brooke. This match looks like it was a shoot. Dana looked like she literally wanted to hurt Bayley. And Bayley did get hurt. Yes. She actually had to go back and have her neck looked at in the back by the doctors. She actually got hurt. And I couldn't really 100%. I won't call it a 100% shoot, but it looked like a shoot to me.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not huge wrestling fans, a take is basically when everything goes according to plan and everything worked. A shoot is when something went terribly wrong, or the two wrestlers are not getting along, so they decide to no sell, which also means basically if someone hits someone across the chest, they don't reel back like they're supposed to. It's a shoot. They basically are no-selling that
person.
Just
like what happened with Undertaker and Lesnar.
Yeah,
that was a big take right there. He breaks his freaking leg.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
But Bayley went back there, and after a few days, they've released her to wrestle again. She's okay. Thank God. But Dana, I don't know what was in her mind that night, but she just didn't have her head in the game.
Yeah.
And Bayley got hurt because of it. And they were supposed to, even the commentators were like, when Bayley dropped for the pin, they were surprised that Bayley didn't kick out. Like there was supposed to be something else. And they're like, well, okay. And so Bayley was really hurt. It turned into a shoot. Dana needs to get her head in the game before she hurts somebody. Not joking around. Dangerous things can happen when people are not paying attention and not to where they're supposed to be.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But Dana wins. Bayley hits the back injured. Match proceeds to the next thing, which is actually a continuation of the Rusev skit. We had Lana and Rusev with Reigns coming out, getting slapped by Lana, and then getting super kicked from behind Lana with Rusev. And that super kick looked like it actually had some power behind it. And then, obviously, Rusev decimating Reigns.
Yeah.
And then doing, as you like to do, what's Rusev's finisher? Do the whole when he does the
Rusev crush,
and then does the Steiner recliner in various different places.
And his eyes pop out.
Yeah, and then they go. If you ever get a chance to watch Rusev wrestle, and he does the acolyte, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Watch his eyes when he does the acolyte pullback. His eyes go inward, and it's like he's just like staring at something, like he's crossing his eyes, and it is the funniest thing to see. Just this weird. He's crossing his eyes, trying to just make this weird sounds. It's weird. I don't think he knows he's doing it, but God, is it funny to watch. But Rusev basically beating up Reigns after a cheap shot. Reigns sells it pretty good. Reigns is getting better in the ring. He's getting better on the mic, and he's getting better in his showmanship.
Yes.
And I'm really glad to see he's improving.
Yeah.
Because before, when he was in the big title scene, it wasn't that good. He's had time to work on it, and he's showing progress. And I'm happy to see that, because eventually they'll take him out of the lower titles and move him back up, and then we'll have the Roman Empire, and there's not going to be this whole, bad taste in our mouth when he gets the championship. Because eventually he will get the championship back.
Yes, he
will. Lana Rusev...
After Cena gets in, he has 16 times.
I think Cena will go for 17, I think.
Really?
I think he'll break Ric Flair's title streak. I don't know why, I just have a feeling.
I wonder if Vince will let him do that.
It's very possible. I mean, it's you never know. But anyway, on from that, we had Strowman Zayn. Braun Strowman threatening weeks and weeks and weeks. Foley, get me competition. Finally, Strowman had enough.
Foley, get me competition.
That's a big man. And for those of y'all who don't know, Braun Strowman's from North Carolina. From where we're from. Yeah, he's a North Carolinian. If you ever look on when he's lifting his arm, he has a North Carolina tattoo on his arm. He's from our local state, and but anyway, he's a big man. I would not want to make him mad.
Here comes that
Zayn, Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
I like what they're doing. I like Sami Zayn because he's happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
He was what Rocky Maivia was trying to do back in the day, but nobody liked it, so they switched his gimmick up. Zayn plays a good, happy face. He doesn't. I could never see Zayn as a heel. It just wouldn't work.
I saw it was disrespectful when he gets in the ring and he just steps up to him, and then the big guy's just like
turning away and shoves him.
And I'm like, dude, come on! And it's like he's one of the best wrestlers, and you're gonna shove him? At least get in his face.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to build up they're building this feud as Strowman doesn't see Zayn as a threat.
Ugh.
So it's a disrespectful thing, but they're gonna build that feud, and I think it's gonna be good. I'd like to see a very fast, almost like a Samoan. He has a Samoan style wrestling.
Yes.
I like what they do with him. He's very fast paced. He's not a high flyer, but he is a very fast paced ground mat wrestler. And I hope it does good because Braun, obviously, big powerhouse man.
Hey, have you heard the terminology? Little package, big delivery.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying there. But Strowman shoves Zayn out of the ring, and that's pretty much it. Zayn hits his head, and they have a little chat off, and then it's over.
Did I get that backwards, by the way?
You did, but I wasn't going to say anything about it.
But the thing is, he's little. He's so little. He's so cute.
But that Halua kick, I wouldn't want to take one of those to the face. But anyway, that'll be a good feud for the future. I'm looking forward to it. Then we had the match of the night, Jericho v. Seth Rollins, Sparkle Crotch versus the Architect, because that's going to stick with him for a while now.
Yes.
It was a good match all in all. Jericho always sells good. Jericho's always a good wrestler. He's always entertaining. Seth, very good wrestler, entertaining to watch. The only thing is, I wish they'd actually let them do the whole match instead of Owens, being out there. No, he wasn't out there. Jericho told him to stay behind, let me wrestle Seth, and he came out anyway later on, ended up costing Jericho the match because of it. And now we already see that little bit of build-up between Jericho and Owens. Jericho's starting to lose the friendship vibe with Owens because Owens is causing him to lose.
He called him, you idiot.
Stupid idiot. Yeah.
You stupid idiot.
But he didn't finish it.
You stupid. What'd you just call me?
And then they started arguing, I was trying to help you. And then, of course, Stephanie steps in, breaks them up. Say, listen, I need you to, because we already know that they're co-leaders on the Stephanie McMahon Survivor Series 5-man tag match for Survivor Series. So she needs them to work together. But I can't wait to see this Jericho-Owens feud. It is going to be so good. Jericho, amazing showman. Owens, he's feeling himself out. He's getting better. It's kind of awkward because he's not the typical muscle-bound,
more like
big mega heel they always have.
Mostly Pierce Boy Doughboy.
I like Owens, but I like that they're stepping out of their
No, he doesn't say hoo. He says A. Because he's Canadian.
Yeah. I like that they're stepping out of the traditional standpoint of having, the sleek, muscly champion, and they're going with something a little different. I like that they're changing it up a bit, and it's finally due that, the homegrown country-looking boy is finally, the champion, and it's not this completely just spends weeks and weeks and weeks in the gym.
Steroid popping, muscle popping, vein popping.
I like that they're doing that, but it looks like it's going to be a good feud. I personally cannot wait. Jericho Owens. But we still have to see what they're going to do with Seth Rollins because, he still has to have, his run. Because I feel they still want to put the belt on him. So I think what they'll do is they'll give Rollins the belt. Rollins will hold it for a while. Owens will get it back, and then it'll be the Jericho thing. Or it could be vice versa. Either way. But I'm looking forward to that. And I think we've about hit our time limit on the show today.
Yeah.
I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in for Through the Table podcast. And until next time, guys, we'll see you again.
We'll see you again.